The quality of your life will come down to the quality of your thinking, of your thoughts. So if we can't think beyond how we feel, this is what Joe was trying to explain, right? He's a brain guy, right? So all this stuff is like scientific, but it also applies in our life. If we can't think beyond how we feel, we're literally constantly going to feel the same things. We're going to be always feel the same exact past experiences, past emotions, all those types of things. But for us, for you guys, for people that are on this call that want to get to your ideal life, what do we always say? You have to be able to grow. You have to grow into the person that you need to become in order to get the thing. So we can't live in past experiences, past thoughts, past emotions. We have to train our mind and body to fire and wire new programming that's going to help us get to that life. Again, y'all, easier said than done. I get it. Right. Like I'm not telling you this stuff is easy, but it's right. It's the right thing to do if you want to get there. This is why most people don't get to where they want to be. Most people don't have the highest levels of success in their health, in their finances, in their business life, in their relationships, in their spiritual life. They actually don't get there. Eventually they settle. But if that's not going to be you, then you have to start learning some of these things. You have to start understanding some of these things that Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about, right? And is talking about inside of here, right? So a couple things that I wrote down. Hey, your routine becomes your program. Your routine becomes the programming. You go through a routine in life. Like he said, you wake up around the same time, get out of the bed the same way, have the same routine, go get your coffee, go take the shower, drive to work the same way, have the same conversation. Like that becomes your programming. And if we want to get to a different place, we have to unlearn and relearn a new programming, a new way of being, right? That's what this is about. It's changing who you are so you can get to that next version of yourself. He talks a lot about meditation. I just listened to one of his other books, The Habit of Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I think that's the title of it, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And at the end of that book, right, he talks a lot about meditation and what meditation does. Again, meditation is something that if you've not tried it, if you've not been able to be successful at it, that's your work. This is how you calm the mind. This is how you calm the brain. This is how you stop taking in all of the stimuli that's around you, all of the input. You put your phone aside and you are, like he said, defined by your thinking. People that struggle to meditate, they have not been able to, right, calm their mind, calm their body. If you can get into a meditative state, it doesn't have to be long. It can just be for 5 minutes. It can just be for 8 minutes where you just sit and you think about one thing. You focus on one thing. That becomes how you train your mind and train your body, like he said, just like a dog, just like an animal that you would train. What you don't know is you've been trained by the world. You've been programmed by people that are around. You've been programmed by your environment. We all have. So to take back control of your life, you have to learn to program yourself. That means you have to put in actions and practices to reprogram your thinking. Again, easier said than done. I'm not telling you this stuff is easy. It's just what needs to get done if you want to get to the life you don't need a break from. You have to go from victim to creator. We've talked about this a ton on here. Again, we are not the people that can say, "Oh, he made me mad. Oh, it's my family's fault. Oh, it's my job's fault. Oh, it's my parents' fault. Oh, it's this person." It's none of their fault. It's your fault. It's your fault because you have ownership of your life. You control your life. You control your mind. What you're learning is that probably you haven't been controlling your mind. You've allowed it to be controlled by other things. That's why you're not getting the results you want. That's why we're not getting to the life that we deserve. It's because other things are controlling it. The moment you go from victim to creator, you create your life. The best way to predict your life is to create it. This goes back to all the stuff we talk about on here, y'all, of do you have a vision? Like, do you clearly know like where you're going, like what your life looks like up ahead? If I pose the question to you, like I pose to everyone I sit down and coach, that eventually we have this conversation. If you fast forward me out 5 or 10 years and draw up your perfect ideal life, if whatever you prayed for in 5 years, God gave you exactly that with specificity and detail and all the things. If it's only two things, then that's all you get, and the rest of your life could be terrible. But if you could be so clear and specific about exactly the life that you want to live, you're being defined by a vision of your future. Like, would you know how to answer that question with specificity and clarity? And if the answer is no, that's your work. That's where meditation comes in. That's where stopping, taking in all of the things in your ear gates and your eye gates. Like that's where this is the real work. He said the root definition of meditation is to become familiar with. How familiar are you with yourself? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Top need is self-actualization, to know oneself. How far away are you from knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing your skills, knowing your talents, knowing your God-given ability? Like, how well do you know you? The only way to get there is to get quiet, is to cut the noise, is to get the things out of your ears and eyes, and then start to tap in with you, with who you are, your thinking, what thoughts are going on up here. That's the key. What thoughts are going on up here, right? That takes us to our text. The world class embraces metacognition. Metacognition. Are you thinking about what you're thinking about? That's as simple as it is. Like, are you thinking about what you're thinking about? Are you thinking about how you get to a certain place, why you feel a certain way, how this happens? Or do you just allow it to all happen? And then we go through the same programming every day, and then we wonder why we can't get a different result. We wonder why we start the health plan and then in 2 weeks we're off of it. We wonder why we get motivated and excited on a Wednesday morning to go do something, and by tomorrow morning you're not excited at all. Like, we wonder why we're not actually able to make change. It's because maybe we're not actively taking our thoughts into captivity. Maybe we're not actively thinking about what we're thinking about. So this is your work. This is the work. Here's what it says in the text. It says, when it comes to thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, the masses are heavily influenced by external forces. We know this. This is what you just heard from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Now we're reading it in the book, right? Like, this is how most people's lives are created. It's by their environment, their external forces. Right? So again, when it comes to thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, the masses are heavily influenced by external forces, like a pinball being bounced around from bumper to bumper. Their outer world determines their inner world. World-class thinkers are just the opposite. Knowing their thoughts control their feelings, the great ones have adopted the habit of thinking about what they think about. Psychologists refer to this as metacognition. This championship habit enables the performer to get to the root of the thoughts that bring about both positive and negative feelings. Again, say that again. This habit enables the performer to get to the root of the thoughts that bring about both positive and negative feelings. Once the performer is aware of the thoughts that are ultimately creating his results, he has the power to change any thought he chooses. In essence, metacognition enables the performer to take control of his thought process. This makes the champion's reality directly opposite of the masses, in that the great one's inner world determines their outer world. In other words, the results they achieve on the outside are dictated by the thoughts they have on the inside. The masses are victims of their own thoughts. They have the same potential for greatness as the pros do, yet are simply not paying attention to what they are allowing to enter their minds. And the results are disastrous. Meanwhile, the world class is thriving on upgraded thoughts that are manifesting tremendous results. They know the better they become at controlling their thoughts, the better their results will be. And it all begins with metacognition. Your inner world determines your outer world, not the other way around. If you are a person that is under the belief that what's happening outside of you is the reason why you are the way you are, we need to switch that thinking immediately. It's a belief you have to get rid of. You have got to unlearn that side of things. Right? You have, like, literally, this is what will get you to the life that you want. It's a change in your beliefs. It's a change in how you think. No one that follows this, that's on these calls, that takes this in, that wants to get to the life they want, you should not be blaming something external for why you are where you are. You should be blaming you. You are not working on yourself enough. You are not intentional about your thought process enough. You are not being careful enough with, like it says in here, what's going in your ears and your eyes. You're not careful enough. You think this is normal. You think it's normal to listen to people that complain. You think it's normal to listen to the news. You think it's normal to listen to gossip. You think it's normal to listen to bad music. Like you think these things are normal. But it's not, right? It's not for people that want to get to the life that they don't need a break from. You literally have to block out things, and you have to be able to spend time with just your thoughts. You have to be able to spend time with just your thoughts, because then you start to realize that you get to create whatever experience you want in this life. I was just watching a podcast yesterday and someone mentioned happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. Gratitude is a choice. It's a decision. You can choose to be grateful. You have 1,000 things right now to be grateful for. You just aren't focused on that. You're focused on the problem, the challenges, the issues, the lack, the what you got to overcome, the problem, the stress, the tired. Like, that's what you're focused on. You could switch how you think about it, and you'll start to feel more gratitude, and then you'll start to see more things that you're grateful for in your life. I know this practice it's difficult. I'm going to keep telling you that because I'm not taking anything away from this. If you're very far away from this, right? Again, you guys are hearing me. I've been in this process for 10, 11, 12 years, shifting how I think. You're just hearing me 12 years down the road. So that's why I can give you a little bit of guidance, because this is all I focused on. I understood, in order to raise my income, in order to be more impactful, in order to have more fulfillment, I need to raise my identity. I need to change how I was thinking about things. I needed to block out some of the things that were coming in. I needed to get rid of old programming. I needed to get away from thoughts that were given to me, and then get the thoughts that I needed to get to the life that I wanted. This is our work. This is your work. You got to know that you have to guard your mind, right? You have to guard this thing, and then you have to go to work knowing yourself, right? Getting familiar with yourself, thinking about what you're thinking about, understanding that your thoughts is what are guiding your emotions, not the other way around. It's your thought life. If you can't think beyond how you feel, like Joe Dispenza said, right? Basically, your body is running your mind, right? Like, that's not the way this is supposed to be. But we got to break it. Change is uncomfortable. How often are you getting uncomfortable? You know, I say this to y'all at the end of almost every single one of these calls, right? Go out and do something that scares you. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Do something that challenges you, because the more you're in routine in your physical body, the more you're in routine in what you actually do, the more you'll be in routine in your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. So you're just firing the same things. You're going to feel the same things week after week, whether it's good things or whether it's bad things, right? Positive things or negative things, whether you feel a lot of stress and anxiety and depression and confusion, and that's a firing in you, versus the people that feel fulfilled and abundant and joyful and with peace and grateful. And it's whatever you choose to fire. You don't need to know, or your environment doesn't need to change in order for you to feel those things. Scripturally, we got to learn to be content in every season, right? Like, in every part, your environment doesn't matter, whether you're in the prison cell or whether you're on the mountaintop. It doesn't matter, because you get to create your life. In this quote, it says, of course, we become what we think about, The real question is, do we know what we're thinking about? Take your action step for today, take your emotional temperature today and assess your mood. Ask this critical thinking question. How did I end up in this mood? How did I end up here? And if your answer is because of them, because of that, because of something outside of you, we got to switch that thought immediately because that's not why you ended up that way. What ended that caused you to think about something a certain way. Whatever that event was, as you know, in therapy talk, triggered you to create a thought that made a story play in your mind that then your body is familiar with or your habits are familiar with that created that mood. So you have to ask yourself, how did I end up in this? What thoughts were I thinking? And if you change your thinking, you can change your life. If you change the thoughts that you have about that thing, it'll change how you operate in that thing. You'll get a completely different result, y'all. That's the goal. That's what we're here to do. You have to change your thinking in order for your life to change. If you want any aspect of your life to change, your health, your finances, your relationship, like anything, change how you think about it. You want your relationship with your spouse to change how you think about them. Because then you'll take different actions. I've had to learn this, married, I've had to learn how to do this. It's very easy in long-term relationships where you might be critical of that person. It all comes with how you think about them. You think about the critical nature. The other side is, what if you didn't think critically about it and you only thought good things about that person? It's going to cause you to eventually change and you're going to treat them differently. Same thing in your money, same thing in your health, same thing in your business, same thing in your spiritual life. Like it's all the same. Now we just got to go do the work. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If no one tells you, I'm going to always remind you, like you deserve to win. You deserve the life that you're dreaming of, that you have a vision of. You deserve that life. But now we got to go to work to get it. And the work is internal work, the work that most people don't do. We only do external work. Start doing this internal work. Start taking the time to meditate. Start taking the time to read good things, listen to good things, cut out the bad things. Watch how your life changes. I love you guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. Do something that challenges you today. I'll see you back on Friday. Take care.